This topic is something I didn't think I would talk about, but maybe it can help us prevent certain things from happening in this society. Not just patch them up, but prevent it from happening again. Not a cheerful video, just something I think we should address right now. If you have been active on social media and didn't know about the Bulli Bai case happening for the past few weeks, shame on the media and shame on you. Sorry, not sorry. There are a few links down in the description for you to understand the whole thing, which I think you probably should understand. So please check them out. Cyberbullying is one of the most common ways to dominate and show superiority or the group's superiority without showing your face anonymously, and rarely does it ever lead to justice. It's a very common practice, whether it's political rivalry or gender, sexuality, race discrimination, wars on religion and nationality, or something as basic as fat shaming. It's all considered to be cyberbullying. I'll be honest, I was a troll for a long time. I'd argue it was all jokes, like making fun of everyone, including myself. Really dark, nihilistic humor kind of thing, and I'm not proud of it. It was all just escapism from boredom for me, which somehow is worse. Discriminating someone because you're bored, that's awful. Talk about lack of compassion. The biggest goal for any trolls is to get a reaction, make people angry, spread hatred, getting attention to feel validated, and as I said, pass boredom. A case like Bulli Bai, which is obviously much more than just trying to pass boredom. Something similar like that happened in July 2021 called Sully Deals. I didn't know about that exactly.
Shame on you.
Shame on me indeed. These things will keep happening unless we actually understand why people do these things. The case is in works, by the way. I believe in the judiciary system, especially considering it's all around the news and everyone is talking about it. They won't let it go. We won't let them let it go. I believe this gives us an opportunity to grow as human beings and as a society. Let's talk about the behaviors and the principles that lead to these things so we can prevent it from happening again. I have condensed all of it into 3 points. Hate towards a certain group or individuals from certain groups, blind, unconditional and boundaryless faith and love in one's beliefs over others, not just in religious sense but as core beliefs a human being has, and thirdly, intolerance to differences and disagreements. Can you relate to any of the 3 things? Try to understand it within yourself. This might sound a bit confrontational, so I'll lead with myself here. Try to relate with it. Is there a group of people I hate? Yes, extreme Hindus, for example. Hindutva spreading and all that. I hate them. Yeah, I'll be honest. Is there some blind faith in my beliefs over their beliefs? Yes. And do I rage at differences and disagreements? Yes, I do. I'm a human being as well. We all can relate to these principles on some level. Most of us just don't go auctioning off women on an app, because most of us can either suppress it well, which is kind of bad, or we can just question our own beliefs and change those beliefs. The society we live in has polarized us to such a weird place. I have a sentence written down here and I'm gonna read it out because it's a really complicated thing and all of it is allegedly. Try to follow through. 18-year-old Hindu woman who lost her parents, like many during the COVID waves, with the support of Hindu extremists, men and women, perpetuating Bulli Bai against vocal Muslim women of this country, India, which is diverse at its core, where Javed Akhtar, an atheist who openly opposes BJP and the Hindu spreading behaviors, asking if there is a non-violent, compassionate, forgiving way to find the root of this societal issue, who is being called out by Muslim and Hindu men and women of this country. This is beyond Hindu-Muslim, beyond male, female, right-wing, left-wing. This just got way too complicated. This is about right and wrong. Morally speaking, right and wrong, it's a very complicated thing. It's more complicated than it needs to be. It's a complicated thing because of the one thing we all as humans share. Difference. We all have a different scale of righteousness and wrongness in us. If you think about it, we all know what's legal and illegal. Then why do rapes and murders and fake cases and dowries and Bulli Bai and CA and RC? We all know the legalities of it. Why does it still exist? Because we all have a different scale of righteousness in us. Have you driven without a license or a helmet? Maybe littered in a public place? smoked a bit of a puff puff. Or here's a common thing, jaywalking. It's not explicitly illegal, but it's considered as obstruction of traffic. We justify our small, tiny little illegal act by saying it's okay, it's not a big deal, because we decide it's okay and it's not a big deal. I say okay, it's okay to not wear a helmet if I'm driving like 2 blocks away. But some people take it to the extremes. They act out horribly and like even illegal acts and feel justified to do so. It's a fucked up thing happening in the world. And I'm not saying it's okay or justified. I'm merely explaining why it might happen. The reason has to be what people perceive as right and wrong being above the law. That is why the Minister of Women and Child Development, Smriti Irani says it's okay to hit kids. Still fucked up that that's something a minister is saying. A Minister of Women and Child Development. If you try to understand that, maybe she was hit as a kid because it was a tradition to hit kids. Even though it is illegal right now, even though it is like considered abuse, people decide what's right and wrong, which is above the law. Once we understand these things, we can change these perceptions by being empathetic and compassionate and understanding everything. These perceptions and distortions exist in every one of us, but that's the beauty of it. We can change it once we understand it. It can all be worked upon and corrected so that A, it doesn't happen again, and B, we will understand the deeper rooted problem that leads to distorted way of processing thoughts and behaviors, which again can help us prevent these things from happening in the future. I can go on and on about how cultures and society and traditions and religions and government all promote polarization and radicalization, but it will lead us to lose the sight of one amazing thing we all have. A fucking choice. Because no matter what, if you think society affects our thought processes and choices, who makes up the society? We, the individuals. We can make that choice right now, a choice of empathetic discourse. We can change the society as a whole just by starting with ourselves. 18-year is no excuse. Parents dying is no excuse. Her and everyone involved, their actions need to have consequences. Yes, but what Javed Akhtar might have meant when saying show her compassion and forgive her, it's not to let her go or let anyone go, as people might be assuming here. And now here I am assuming the opposite of it. I think he meant like a reformative justice system rather than a punitive justice. If it did mean to say let her go, man's insane, in any which way, I am saying reformative justice is going to be much more helpful than punitive justice. If we start giving punitive justice to anyone who does wrong or illegal, there won't be any government left. And there won't be any one of us left, because we have all done something illegal in our lives. What punitive justice is in society is it's like a patchwork of the road with potholes. It makes the road seem and work. That's it. You can just see it and you can just kind of like, yeah, it's working. It's not helping us understand the groundwork laid by the previous generations. Reforming this from the foundations itself will leave a legacy worth taking for the next generations. We have to make sure we are not suppressing people's anger and rage by using anger and rage, because in that case, we are not doing anything different. We are just following the same principles, just in a different context. We can understand someone for doing something wrong and illegal without appreciating or acknowledging their actions or enabling them to do more similar things. Empathy is different than sympathy. I will repeat myself. We can prevent it from happening again in any context if we just understand why people act in these fucked up ways. Not assume why they act in fucked up ways, actually know why they act in these ways. I can honestly never know what any of the women whose photos were used in such a manner are going through. I can't. I just can't. Most of the people, even supporters, non-supporters, no one can understand it. But I can, and we can understand the rage and anger, and it's 100% understandable and valid. It's completely okay to be angry and upset, and all your feelings are valid. Mindfulness is also important. For all we know, these criminals, they were filled with rage and anger as well, which they thought was valid. I'm not comparing anything, I'm just suggesting these are the emotions we all feel. And if we understand it within ourselves, we can understand it in others and empathize, so the criminals will go to jail, but not for just punishment, but for reforming their behaviors. I don't know, through counseling or any kind of psychological intervention, which can show them a better way, and it can help them add meaning to the parts of the society they come from and help change society as a whole. Am I being optimistic? Yes, because I'd rather not be a pessimist and say nothing's gonna change and we are all fucked. I'd rather be an optimist here. I'm not giving up on humanity. We all have a chance to do better, correct any distortions or perceptions we have about others and help them do the same about us through empathy, so that we as a society can make the world a better place to exist in. Compassion, empathy, forgiveness, openness to conversation and disagreements, which will lead to reforming behaviors. These are really important for forming a good society, and it will help us make a positive impact on the whole world for the next generations as well. All the links are in the description. Please check them out and try to understand it's a lot more complicated than what you or I can even think of it being. But together we can work on it. I'm open to criticism. Constructive is preferred. Please let me know what you think we as society can do to prevent these things from happening again. I'll see you in the next thing.